Hello everyone and welcome back to Considered It. For today's video, I'll be putting 5 legends into a list and give you a brief explanation of each and every topic. But before I get into that list, I want to explain the difference between a myth, a legend, and also an urban legend. So what is the difference? A myth is basically a story that doesn't have any facts in it. It's meant as a symbolic or educational purpose. Now, a legend is a story told throughout the years that has some sort of facts in there, but has been exaggerated over the years. So, what's an urban legend? Well, an urban legend is a story told to be true, but known to be fake. So, what's a good example of an urban legend? Bloody Mary. Most of us have heard about the story that if you go into your bathroom, stand in front of the mirror, say Bloody Mary 3 times with the lights off, that Bloody Mary will appear behind you and you will die by her. But we all know that this story is fake. But yeah, it's told to be true. So that's a perfect example of an urban legend. With that out of the way, let me get into this list. First on the list is the story of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. The well-known Bigfoot, but what do we actually know about Bigfoot? We know that he lives in a forest, we know he's big, we know he's hairy, has big feet, but that's kind of it. Do you know anything else about Bigfoot? Because people think that he would be the missing link between humans and apes. Well, that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Well, does it actually? We only know 14% of species roaming the earth today. That means we don't know about 86% of the species roaming the earth. And that's excluding the seas. That's only talking about species living on land. So, is it really that ridiculous? Second on the list we have King Arthur. King Arthur, the British king ruling in the 5th and early 6th century. Well, there's not a lot we know about King Arthur because most of us think he's a king, but have you heard the stories about the Welsh historici talking about him as a battle leader and actually a well-known general instead of a king? Yeah, most sources say that he was actually a battle leader and never actually was a king, but yet he's described as a king this day. So where did that come from? Where did that originate from? Next on the list we have the story of Romulus and Remus, the 2 legendary brothers born in a Latin city known as Alba Longa. Well, the 2 brothers, their mother, was a daughter of the former king. The current king at that time was the brother of the former king. The current king obligated the woman to kill the kids. Yeah, so the kids were abandoned at a bank river. Wolves found these 2 kids and basically raised them. After a while, a shepherd found them and he adopted the kids. The city supported Romulus and Remus throughout the years and thought they had amazing ideas. Now, there was a small issue. They both wanted to start the city and they wanted to do it together, but they had a fight about what the name should be and where it should be. So this fight actually got Remus killed. This gave Romulus the perfect opportunity to build his own city, so-called Rome. Fourth on the list we have giants. This might be the most tricky one on the list. Why is that? Because there's actually been a discovery of humanoid bones scaling from 210 centimeters to 400 centimeters long. And keep in mind, people roaming the earth back then, they were a lot shorter than we are today. So that would be crazy. It would be crazy to see such big people walking the earth while you are perhaps 1.50 meters. A common question about these giants is, well, if they were roaming the earth back then, why aren't they roaming the earth right now? Or how did they extinct? Where did they go? Well, scientists can't really explain this topic because they don't have the answers for it. We've had records of humanoid bones, but we don't know where they originate from or how they extinct. Last but most certainly not least are the 300 Spartans. Oh yes, the legendary movie with the 300 Spartans fighting 1 million Persians. What is there to tell more than we've seen in the movie? There's actually a lot the movie didn't show us, because we've all seen the creature telling the Persians where the only way into Greece was. But that was actually one of their warriors who told them on the 2nd day of the fight. Yeah, and did you know there weren't only 300 Spartans, but there were actually more than 7,000 of them? Yeah, amazing, isn't it? So the Spartans, they weren't even on their own. They had reinforcement from several different regions. Well, that's all for today's video. I hope I learned something new and I hope you also enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one.